how's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have the Maguas with us, and they can say their names and what they do in the band. I also almost fucked that up, so kudos to me.
Yo, what's up? I'm Dalton. The guitarist in the Maguas, one of the guitarists in the Maguas.
What's going on? I'm Matt. I also play guitar in the Maguas.
I'm Luke Prasinski. I play bass for the Maguas.
And I'm Brandon Austin, and I play drums for the Maguas.
There we go. Well, we're only missing Eric, and I'm only going to be like a little bit upset that he didn't show up. You know, he did have a kid, so I'll give him a pass. But Eric, I better see you on this next one. That's all I'm saying. If you're not on the next one, you better have another kid or something. You know, that's all I'm saying. Just kidding. I haven't even met Eric, and I'm already throwing him under the bus.
That's fine.
I want to give a shout out. I have seen these guys play live locally here in PA, so shout outs. Always love seeing them. I saw you guys open for Alisana when you guys played at the HMAC, and I was like, this band's really cool. I wonder if I would get them on the show at some point. And then probably like a month later, I got an email and they're like, you want to have them on? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So now we're here. So we made it work.
Hell yeah.
But I wanted to know how you guys started out, you know, how the project started. I'm a huge band nerd, so I love knowing the like origin story of groups. So spare no expense. Tell me the details.
Well, it all started because Eric had sent out this mass group text after we had gotten out of college. Thing is that, you know, me, Matt, Luke, and Eric have kind of been playing together since we've been in like 6th or 7th grade. So for a long time we've been jamming, but nothing ever too serious, just, you know, making songs and whatever and whatnot. But after we all graduated college, Eric sent out this massive group text to about 9 of us, and everyone showed up. And so on the first day we had a practice. We had like 4 guitarists and 2 singers and all this stuff. And
only one bassist though. That's why.
Luke was already guaranteed
slot. Yeah.
Within about 20 minutes, it kind of dwindled down to just the 5 of us. And so then we've just been, we started off as like a cover band type thing, playing local bars and such. And then we started putting out some music and liked the response we were getting and decided, you know what, we're going to make this a thing now, you know. So we're plugging away for close to 6 years now, just, you know, trying to do the best we can at this point.
And then Brandon showed up at some point, you know, just randomly.
Well, Brandon was there with
I was in the group text.
The group text. He was there.
Was there another drummer? There wasn't another drummer, right?
Do we have 2 drummers?
Yeah, but Eric made it saying he wanted to sing. So
Yeah.
So Brandon's spot was locked too. It was basically the like 6 guitarists that had to fight it out.
I think we fully intended on making 4 guitars work, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We were like, here's this.
Yeah,
and
when we were
just-
first formed, we had a 3rd guitarist for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, we're gonna make this work.
We'll be like, one person will play some weird ass like harmony leads, and then we'll have someone playing a backup, and we'll make it work. We'll
That still would have been sick. But I mean, where would you stand? My God.
We'll be the Eagles.
pretty
We'll
cool.
play California at a random bar, and that's how we'll do it.
With a quadruple harmonized lead. Oh, it's time for the solo. Why is
Everybody has to line up their notes at the same time.
the entire solo becomes a chord?
That's amazing. I feel like it would have been a massive headache to try to get like that many guitar players all in one song. I mean, I feel like I listen to like Periphery and I'm just like, this is cool, but I'm also like, there's 3 guitar players and it's just like, that's crazy, you know?
Here's enough. Can't stand him.
You're gonna be like, you're gonna be in like a box. You're basically just gonna be standing here and then just playing your instrument.
That's kind of the way we are on a smaller stage now. Anyway.
I don't think we can fit anymore.
I can only imagine trying to. I mean, it wouldn't work.
I mean, with how crazy Jinx gets on stage, he might knock over all 3 guitars.
Oh, I'd be everybody.
Yeah.
He'd be crowd killing the other guitars. I feel like it would ultimately just have to have someone like sit on top of someone else's shoulder playing guitar at the same time, and then you're like, okay, we have to swap mid set, so then you swap. You know, it's crazy.
I think that, could you imagine seeing that on
That's a good idea.
That would be kind of tight.
You wouldn't ever forget that band if you
Isn't there like
one guy? It's in a
There's that one Japanese band, I think, that plays upside down, right? Isn't that like their shtick?
Yeah,
What?
sure.
Crystal Lake, maybe?
And you're
We could do
talking
that.
about him here. That's
Yeah,
my
we could do
thing.
that.
Is if we do that, you be talking
Yeah.
about it.
That's it.
Yeah, if
Oh.
you guys did that, I would be so on board with that. I would be like, man, that is the craziest PA band I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh, yeah, so I'll never forget. You know, like
Jinx, I'll start doing some
Next show.
squats. You can hop on, yeah.
Oh, let's do it.
I've been seeing that one. I think it's like either on TikTok or I've been seeing it on Instagram of people doing like the back roll. Like where like somebody like basically
I
is playing the
gotcha.
guitar and then it rolls over like the back. So if you guys
Mhm.
do that, if you guys incorporate that into your stage presence, I'm gonna be like, thanks,
I'll have
crushed
to
it.
figure it out.
Few more
Yeah.
squats. We got it.
Yeah. Somebody just has to run
rolling
like
around.
full force into Brandon's like drum set. You know, like it's gonna be mayhem. Get ready, guys. No,
That's how you get Brandon to commit murder.
That's
Can't touch the
it.
drums. It's like Step Brothers. Can't touch the drums.
that's true. That's
Oh,
true.
Hey, I'm on the hunt for new drums, guys. So it might be maybe it'll destroy the old ones.
Oh man.
I don't think you have it in you. I don't
I
think you
I
could
don't
destroy
know.
a set.
So, maybe not a whole set. Maybe
Yeah.
something. Maybe
Do
maybe just like a small top.
I could see Brandon going full send though.
Yeah.
Like it's
He just like slams. He starts slamming.
yeah.
I think it needs to
Yeah.
already
You're
be
gonna
broken.
go there. It's gonna be chaos.
Goes a little too far. Everybody's a little concerned. Like, I don't know, man. He's going through something.
And then I'm in the background. I'm just like, just let him cook. He's a Brandon. You know, we gotta cook. You know, so let's just let him do it. You know. I would be like, yeah, let's go, man, let's do it, you know. So keep it going, you know. The next time you see them, their whole stage is gonna be on fire, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Brandon's gonna be like the drummer from Parkway Drive, where he's like in that metal like loop and he's just spinning around like doing like emo music, you know. It's gonna be sick. I'm about it.
That'd be
Yeah.
so awesome.
That's it. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. And then Eric's like holding his baby and then also singing at the same time. It's gonna be wild, crazy show. I hope you guys are there. It's gonna be awesome. Come hang out in PA. But I will say, seeing you guys open for Alisana, I was like, I have seen you guys play. Like, I'm sure I've seen you guys play at like launch conference and things, you know, things of that nature out in PA here. But I think that like the most current time that I've seen you, I was like, man, they have improved so much since like I've seen them the last time. And I almost didn't even like, it didn't even click with me. I was like, I've seen this band before. And like, I was like, they've gotten so much tighter. Like there's something about their sound that like really clicked with me more. And I was like, I have to go check them out. And then I didn't do that. But now I checked you guys out more because you have an album out, which now it's
Love
like
it.
the perfect time, you know? So you can check out Settled. It's in the description. If you want to go pick up the vinyl, you can go do that because by
Oh,
the
yeah.
time this comes out, I've already bought it. So I'm in the clear. But all of you guys have to fight for vinyl. So now's the time, you know, duke it out.
There it is.
But I went through and listened to Glum, Release Me, Sour Hands, Drifter, and Shapeless. So like roughly about half of the album. And I was like, damn, this is so good. I'm like, how did I not like reel into this band that much more? Because I think you guys hit like the perfect like post-hardcore like emo vibe, which is like what I grew up listening to. So I think for me it's like I felt like almost a nostalgia listening to it. Like I was like, this is really cool. I think the bands that I could most relate you to is Thrice, Amberlin, and I would say like Alexis on Fire. I feel like those three
Yeah.
collectively.
That's
I think
so
you
awesome.
guys
I
kind
love
of.
that.
Hell yeah.
I feel
That's
like you
cool.
guys kind of nail that like classic like emo post-hardcore sound. And you know, since Eric's not here, I can't say nice things about his voice. But you know, no, I'm just kidding. I'll just tell.
Well, because he's not say bad things about it.
Yeah, actually, it was the worst vocals I've ever heard in my entire life. Instrumentation, chef's kiss, great stuff. I don't think it could actually get any better. I was actually hoping to ask the guys if they would just make an instrumental version, so I wouldn't have to listen to Erickson. I'm just joking, Eric. I know you're crying right now. I'm sorry, but I really enjoyed his vocal styling. I think it meshes well with like the sound that much more, and kind of gives me a cross between like a Dustin Kensrue and the vocalist from Alexis on Fire, Dallas Green. I feel like it
Dallas Green, yeah.
kind of
I
finds
love Dustin Kensrue.
it kind of finds like a middle ground between there, and then like a little sprinkling of like Steven Christensen, which is like one of my favorite groups, and Berlin.
Yeah.
So I think you guys kind of hit that peak super well. I'm curious what type of other artists that you guys kind of like, I don't want to say get associated with, but like people kind of say like, oh, you guys sound like this or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if I
We
nailed
got
it.
we got Rise Against
Rise
Thursday.
Against.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot Thursday. That is true.
Yeah,
A lot
people
of
think we
Thursday.
sound a lot like Thursday.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I've never listened to Thursday, so I'm like,
Yeah, I
I don't
don't
think any of us
think
have.
Yeah, me neither.
We
Man,
haven't really listened to them.
We were in
Yeah.
the studio, and our producer Nick Brzezzi plays in Man Overboard. He was like,
Woo.
"Yo, you guys sound like Thursday," and we're all like, "Who's Thursday?" Now I know very
And
well.
then
who
he
Thursday
immediately
is.
hit you.
Thursday's
He was just
awesome.
like,
yeah.
done.
But funny you said Anne Boleyn. We've definitely gotten Anne Boleyn before,
Okay,
multiple times. I love Anne Boleyn, but and maybe I think we've gotten Thrice before too. Actually,
Yeah,
Sick, yeah.
Cody from
Well-
Anchor 84 always says we sound like Thrice.
Right.
He's always like, that sounds like Thrice. But oh, great, dude. I'll tell you, Eric actually had a project back, I think, when like our first year or two of being a band. He had a bunch of different things he was doing with a bunch of other artists, and he did a song once. I don't even remember the name of it, but I remember when he sang it, I texted him and telling him like, "Yo, man, I know what it is. This track sounds like Dallas Green." And since then, I kind of like always had in the back of my head, like when Eric hits certain notes, like, damn, there it is. Like, there's
Yeah,
that
it comes
little
out,
fire
yeah.
side. Yeah.
Agreed.
Very
agreed.
cool.
It's like, it's like a part of the scene in the movie where you're like on the suspense, you're like waiting, and you're like, oh, I can hear it. I can hear it. It's, it's
there it
right
is.
there.
There it is.
Now he needs to get all tatted up and wear felt hats.
That's it.
That's it.
That's what he's missing. It's a felt hat.
Yeah.
Eric
the
would
felt-
look so intimidating with a bunch of tattoos. It'd be ridiculous.
would.
And
It'd look
not
pretty
as
awesome.
intimidating, but like he,
I would
he
tell
look-
everybody he just got out of prison. Everywhere we go, I'd be like,
Everyone would believe
actually,
it too. And
Yeah,
then
they'll talk
you-
about
you-
it.
you
Look at him,
and he's
yeah.
just a teddy bear.
They're like, Eric's was like, listen, I had to get more material for our next album, so I went to
That's
prison.
it.
I'm kidding.
Oh,
Actually,
God.
Eric, don't go to prison. That's probably not kosher. Not a good idea.
would be some inspiration.
Yeah,
Could
it
be.
would be some, yeah. He's like tales from the hard side, and it's just like, but no, I think you guys have like a really kind of nostalgic sound, and I think that to me, I'm excited to listen to the latter half of Settled because I imagine there are some songs in there that are sleepers. So I'm excited to kind of get into it a little more into the weeds of it. In terms of people who haven't heard of your band before, what song would you recommend to a new listener to check out first to give them an idea of what you guys do?
I would personally say Release Me, probably. That'd be my
I
vote.
think that's
I don't know about
probably
you
mine
guys.
as well. I mean,
Those
Release
are
Me or Glum are the two that we would probably associate hardest with our band.
Brandon?
I'd agree with that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think Release Me captures a lot of elements of like stuff we like to write towards, I guess, would be a good example.
And I think that we have like a more diverse sound. And if you listen to like all the album, there's a few songs on there like Forget Me Not and stuff like that that are a little bit lighter and a bit different than the rest of them. But I think at our core, when we're writing, we just like to put out music that we like. So it doesn't matter. We're not trying to write to sound like a Magua song. We're kind of just writing to write songs that we like. And so I think it adds like an eclectic like thing as we listen through the album. But I think that Release Me and Glow really hone in on like what we do best and that emo sound that we've really grown to become.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. And then in regards to writing Settled, how long of a process has it been for you guys? Because I did check out the Spotify, and you guys started out in like 2018 roughly. So, how long of a process has it been to kind of put these together? Because I did see like there were some songs on YouTube that you had that were like older that like were from like the original start of the band, and then obviously you have a full album out. So I'm curious in terms of that process of instead of maybe going into the album being like, okay, we have these old songs that everybody knows, everybody loves, that have listened to live or have listened to online, what kind of made you instinctually want to put those on the record, where I feel like oftentimes people are just like, hey, we got a couple singles out, like that's it, and then they just move on and it's on to like the next album? Was that kind of a conscious effort on you guys to just be like, hey, listen, we have these old songs that we still love, we play all the time, but we want to include it on the album, and then also obviously have some new songs that people can get excited about? Was that kind of in talks to scrap those, or I'm curious.
Yeah, I guess I'll take. Sorry, this you guys can kind of fill in the gaps.
Unbelievable.
How
I can't
dare
believe
you.
it. This guy. So I would say like in terms of how long it took for this particular record, I've been currently saying about 2 years in terms of like the fullness of it.
Mhm.
We started with an EP called Evergreen, which came out in 2021, the end of 2021.
Okay.
And at that time, it was 5 songs, included Temporary, Shapeless, Drifter, those kind of songs. And so after that had come out, we put a lot of time and a lot of money into that record. We got hit up by CI Records, and during that process, we had been writing other songs and actually recording other songs, and we had actually already started thinking about whether we were going to release like two one-off singles and then start working on like our first record or whatever. And then I just started talking with CI. We kind of came up with this plan of finishing Evergreen essentially and finishing this record as a more complete I guess
Like
story or discography package. So we went and we said we already have this great collective work here. What if we could expand upon it, make it a full length and kind of take it from there? And 2 of those songs, like Dalton had mentioned before, like Forget Me Not, and then there's another song, You. Those were written during that period of like that 1 year waiting between 2021 and 2023, I guess, that we kind of initially had planned to release as one-offs, and then decided, I think we'll put this on the record. And we got together, listened through, picked out some other songs to round it out. And I think it once we had the discussion with the record label about I think for me, like once we figured out the order of it all, it all kind of came together and it made a lot of sense to us. And I love the way it came out.
I would agree. Anyone else want to add anything, or no?
I mean, I really just think that it was the big thing is that the record label came in and we wanted to get this stuff. We really thought that Evergreen was like a lot of some of our best work, and we really loved writing that and loved making that album or that EP. And we wanted to get it in front of as many people as possible. And even though it came out in 20 and at the end of 2021, we feel like it hadn't had as many eyes as we wanted on it, and we wanted to make it a part of this first full-length album because it is a lot of those songs on there we attribute to like our sound. And we wanted our first album to be when a listener listens, like, this is who the Maguas are. They wanted this is your first album, this is your first introduction to a majority of the people, and especially with signing to a record label and having them come on to help us market this and take it to different avenues that we hadn't had it before. I think it was important for us to put our best foot forward, and Evergreen was just a part of that. And we've been listening to these songs since the day we wrote them, which could have been upward of 3 years. But to some of these people, these songs are brand new, and we're happy to have them listen to it for the first time and get just as excited as we did when we listened to it and wrote it for the first time. So I think that was why we decided we needed to put them on the album. We needed more eyes on it. We wanted people to hear what we thought was our best work.
Definitely. I was going to say too, there's one more thing. Obviously COVID happened when one thing a lot of people don't know, I guess, about our band. It's like, so COVID happened. We put out our first, what we consider our first like real studio recorded EP. One of us is lying in April. The first song came out in April of 2020. And so that whole year, essentially, we had our first record out. We didn't do anything. We didn't tour. Like, we were a cover band prior to that moment. So we come back in 2021 and start like lightly touring, getting our feet wet in the touring realm in terms of like figuring it out. And we had a record do pretty well. Evergreen comes out. We're still kind of figuring out touring. And now we've come to a part where we have a lot more tours under our belt. We have a lot more experience. And now it's like, I feel like the point where a record made the most sense in terms of promoting this stuff and actually being able to go out and tour and do all those things.
Matt, you look like you're ready to say something, so I'm waiting. Yes, I'm ready.
Well said. It is wild. I was actually just, when you mentioned that, it's crazy because, like Brandon said, we were a cover band, did our album, our first album was like original music, and then boom, COVID hit, and our first show doing original, like our original tunes was like the end of 2021. So that's really not that long ago.
It's like, yeah, it's like not.
I was just kind of like thinking when Brandon was saying, I was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, like when we were playing in 2019 and 2018, a lot of them were at like either local bars or we traveled. We played a show in Poughkeepsie, New York, where we played a few of the songs that we had written. And honestly, it was one of our first or second shows, but that's really all we had to go on. We had a bunch of shows lined up for the beginning of 2020 and through 2020, and we were going to plan to make that the year that we really hit the ground running, because a lot of us had the time in that summer that we were ready to go, and then COVID hits and you kind of get pushed back. But then once we started hitting the road and then 2021 and into 2022, things just started to feel more natural for us touring, and we, like Brandon said, that's when you really want to start pushing the best songs that you have, and you start feeling the best songs that you have were on that Evergreen EP that are now on Settled, the album. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I kind of put it in the same lane as like shout outs to Picturesque. Like they put their first EP out and then they also released like Back to Beautiful, which has like all the songs from that first EP, and it gives you a fresh perspective on it, because I that was kind of I didn't go back and listen to the EP, but I imagine I pretty much listened to it now at this point. But I think there is something special about like having songs on an EP that maybe don't get enough love or don't get to see that sort of like positioning where bands kind of are like, oh yeah, so we have this EP we did, like, it's okay, but like we have this album now that has all of the songs on the EP, but also new songs that you can listen to. And I think it's important to show light to that, but I also think it's like you're not half-assing it and giving somebody just like, okay, we're just gonna give you the EP songs and then maybe like a handful of other songs. It's like this is like, I think it's 12 songs. If I'm not mistaken?
11
yeah.
songs.
So like, I mean, that's a pretty decently long album, and I appreciate the fact that, especially for bands now, I know like albums are often a very tumultuous topic to talk about, because you remember one thing and the next minute you're like, did I think about something else, or like where am I at? And then then you're like, where's the time at? And it's like 11 p.m. and you're like, I just stared at my phone for 2 hours. That's crazy. So I think it's important. I think for me, it's like I always try to highlight albums because I think it's always been a huge part of my life. And so I feel like I love the concept of an album where you can kind of, go from chapter 1 to chapter 11 and really get the full scope of everything, where I feel like maybe, just singles or an EP doesn't really kind of, cut it in the same way, which, I mean, to be fair, bands do it well, no knock to EPs or people doing the singles route, certainly, but I appreciate the fact that you guys wanted to stick more in that artistic like endeavor and just kind of really give like a full package in that way. I know Brandon did mention you guys got signed to CI, which is congrats, awesome. How did that happen? I'm always curious on how bands kind of do that. Did they reach out to you, or did you kind of put some feelers out there to say like, hey, so we're looking for like a label to sign to? I was just curious on how maybe that kind of got started.
Yes, that one was we played launch. I forget which launch it was. It might have been,
I think it was years ago.
It might have been the one right after COVID, or the one.
Yeah, I think it was like 2021 around.
Yeah,
2020.
yeah.
Okay.
I know they had like a weird scheduling year because of COVID and stuff. So after launch, there was a show, I think, in Harrisburg we were trying to play, and CI was actually they have a production side, which for shows and stuff. So they were the host of the show, and we had reached out, and through just a couple of emails back and forth after we had played, we got a phone call essentially the next day, just saying, Jeremy, the head of CDI, and he was, just kind of wanted to get a feel for our band and see, who we were, and he had heard some, some good things about us. He's seen us now, and just from that, we just kind of had a lot of conversations, and I think for us, and I'm sure the band will comment on this too, like we had some other. We'd worked with other people in the past, whether it was managers or distributors and things like that. And one of our, like, I guess, peeves or something along those lines would be that we never actually got to meet these people, like, in person. Yeah. Obviously, they were still COVID, but, like, Jeremy was one of the first people we actually got to, like, meet as a band and speak with. And these guys can talk more on that. But I think that was something that really helped us kind of build that relationship with them.
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to meet with those people. It wasn't like it was a trying, but until
Yeah.
it was pretty tough. I mean, we worked with this one guy who was very nice and very helpful at the time, but he was going to help us book a lot of shows, and that came in 2020. And it just so
Oh.
happened that then it ended up being phone call conversations back and forth, and it wasn't really a relationship that helped either one of us because it wasn't what the relationship was meant to be.
Sure,
And
sure,
then
sure.
so
Prior to
then
that, we worked with a guy in UK, right?
Yeah,
we did
it's
work.
true.
Yeah,
Hard to meet him face to face.
yeah, but with Jeremy, it was really nice because we had the background of seeing Launch and how they ran Launch, and that's a wonderful festival. If anyone has a chance in the Lancaster area, go and check out Launch
Agreed.
Music Festival. But we had the pleasure of like knowing more about Jeremy from that, and then we had phone calls back and forth. I remember one of the phone calls was. It was like 2 a.m. Jeremy's like a vampire, a night owl. He's only up between the hours of like 11 and 5:30
That's
in the
fair.
morning.
Yeah, I got you.
So we end up getting this phone call. We're all in the studio, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Jeremy gives us a call. We must have talked for like 2.5 hours about
Oh my God.
everything, music, and everything that we wanted. And we seemed to have our views pretty much aligned at that point. And so from there, it was just hammering out contract details and things like that. But I tell you that Jeremy and Dakota and Mike at CI have like a really good way of like guiding us in areas that we might not know, or they're very much helpful in areas that we didn't even know existed because they have so many contacts and avenues that as a record label that when you're an independent band, it's not that you can't get to these people. You don't even know these people exist. You don't even know contacts are there. So they've been tremendous in that respect. And I think that more than anything, it's almost like a mentorship. They're helping us along the way. And that's what really is beneficial about this partnership between the two of us,
Yeah, I think the nicest thing about the partnership is that they kind of are the face of a business. So, like, prior to being signed on to a label, we'd have discussions about how we wanted to go about doing something or promoting something, the release cycle, all that kind of stuff. And it would always be like the band and a creative viewpoint and like everything from like that musical standpoint posing against this like faceless business, right? That we had to kind of like figure out, like, is this what like a market would want, or is this like that kind of thing? Whereas now it's not like what we would project it to be. We have someone that's literally like representing that side of the argument. So like with the label, they'll have opinions or like preferences about directions of things to go from a more business standpoint or a more like marketing standpoint, whereas before that would be just kind of like shooting in the dark, like poking around being like, I think this is cool, this will probably work,
this will work.
Makes sense. Yeah, this makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've had the pleasure of talking to Jeremy a couple different times, whether at launch or just seeing him at local shows. But and also obviously interviewing a lot of CI bands over my tenure of doing this. I think for me, it's like I always see him at stuff. So I think that to me is like anytime that I tell people locally, I'm like, you have go check out what Jeremy does because I and this isn't me like shilling for Jeremy. If you watch this, I'm just shilling for you a little bit. But
he wants a T-shirt.
He wants send me a T-shirt.
Give you vinyl.
You're gonna send me a couple vinyls. I'm not gonna say no. I won't say no. But I think it's really cool to see that because I've gone to launch before COVID and then I went after COVID as well. And I think to me it's like I see him doing the groundwork, doing the legwork, like it's almost like doing grunt work a little bit, like it's kind of crazy because
literally everywhere.
He's I think he just I think he's got a time machine and he's really just kind of just keeping it all secret from us, and I'm a little upset honestly, because I just see him all the time doing stuff, and I think he's so active in the Lancaster like broader PA community, and so I always want to give him a shout if it's possible because I think he really truly cares about the bands that he works with, and it isn't just like a shill or anything like that. It's like I think genuinely he wants everybody's band to do well, and I think that is such a commendable thing. So shout out to you, Jeremy. if you don't send me anything, I'll be completely fine as well. Don't worry about it. But you know,
He's lying.
I think the cool thing about Jeremy too is that he's a legitimate fan of all this stuff. Like he
yeah,
goes crazy for it.
Yeah.
Like he's saying like he's around it and doing the grunt work. It's because he loves it. He loves to be around bands. He loves to be in that scene. He's like a little kid, honestly.
Yeah.
He's got so much energy. You'd swear that like he's like a 4-year-old with ADHD because it's just all over the place. But
he
man,
might, he
it's
might be.
fun to be
over.
around that. It's fun to be around that energy because he cares so much about what he does, and it helps you like have that drive to keep going. And even if something gets you off the rails a little bit here and there, he has that drive and that energy that just keeps like, oh, we got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, got to do this. I'm like, okay, yeah.
I will also give him a shout. I saw him. I went to be an extra in the latest like August Burns Red music video that they like
There you
Parson
go.
and Charlton.
Yeah.
And I saw him there, and he was just like hanging out, talking to like. Which I mean, I know
Yeah.
obviously he's worked with ABR for like probably
Mhm.
decades now at this point, but like it was just so funny. I was just like the one place I'd imagine seeing him at, and then I do see him. So shout out to Jeremy.
Yeah.
It was great. I was just like, is that Jeremy? It's like his cold out is. I'm like, he is just he's jazzed up. It was crazy. So this is the best way to describe him. He is just full. Like there's there's no zero unless there's like another zero and a one attached to that. Like he's at 100% all the time. So
That's
He's
it.
like one of those people you look at and you get tired. You're like, "It's crazy."
yeah, and that's exactly. You're just like, how do you have all this energy, man? Like, what secret? You tell us the secret of why you have so much energy. But it's great. So shout out to Jeremy. But I wanted to know, guys, in terms of musicians that got you initially started in your musical craft, who was somebody you watched either like on TV or heard on the radio, or maybe watched on YouTube, and you're like, I want to do music. Being a musician, that seems sick. I'm about it.
You want me to go?
yeah.
So my first love was Judas Priest. My dad loved 80s metal.
Ooh.
So everything about Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, I had like a leather jacket at age 4 years old playing like a fake guitar,
Hard.
heading out to
baby.
the highway. Yeah, that was I had no choice but to love 80s metal. So that was my first love. And then, I got the Wonder Years.
Oh.
That became
Ooh.
quickly my favorite band of all time. I listened to like so much Wonder Years throughout college and high school. I still listen to them all the time to this day. They're probably my number one influence in this kind of music. I just love them.
Shout outs.
So
Yes, sir.
the person that really got me into the guitar is this guy right here, Dalton Rissinger.
Hey.
we were in like 8th grade music class, or like what would you call it, choir or whatever.
Yeah, something
Honestly,
like
I
that.
think that's the last year we did it, but I remember just
Last
standing
year it
next
was
to him.
forced. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But hey, we were pretty good.
Numbers
me and,
dwindle after
Dalton.
that.
Yeah.
We were, we're bros, and it was like around this time of the year at Christmas time. He's like, dude, you should like save your money, save your Christmas money, go get a guitar, Jenks. And I'm like, no, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And that's kind of what started the whole unit of us jamming together. But in terms of like inspiration, I always I'm kind of like a butt rock fan. So I remember hearing Breaking Ben on the radio, and I was like, yo, they're from Scranton. I remember like the
Hell
Diary
yeah.
of Jane came on. It just
Oh.
blew my mind. I'm like, they're local? What? And from there, as you do, my taste just got heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. But I love Trivium. I'm a huge Trivium fan.
Ooh. Okay.
I used to be a better guitarist probably like 7 years ago when I was like learning Trivium.
You're not that
Thanks,
bad.
man.
I am now. But
Me and
yeah,
you used to
and
sit in the
I like
basement and just
everything,
play
though.
Trivium all the time. I think for like when we
Dude,
were like
yeah.
12 years old, a gunshot
Like
to the
I
head
had-
of trepidation.
I used
we
to
just
shred,
blasted that.
yeah, used to shred the Ascendancy album, and that's
Oh.
tough. I can't play that now.
Oh.
My hands don't move that way, man. I just play like emo anthemic rock. That's what I do.
Well,
Luke or Brandon?
All right, I'll go. So, yeah, for me, the band that really got me invested in wanting to play music in a band setting was probably Rush. My dad definitely forced it on me. I remember we used to wash the car out in the driveway, and he'd just have like this old like boombox just
Yeah.
blasting Rush CDs. And when I was younger, I'm like, this dude's voice sucks. Like I hated it. And I'm like, this is terrible. So he would play it. And I'm like, this is awful. And then when I was like 10, he knew I didn't like the band, so he took my brother to a Rush concert. Didn't even ask me. So it's just the two of them that went. And they got back and they're like, that was so cool. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I want to go to concerts. So then I started like actually listening to Rush more and started to go to all their concerts. Just became like a diehard fan. And I am a Getty apologist. His voice is great now. But anyway, yeah, so like that got me into it. And then as far as like other musical influences, as I like got more involved, I always love Counting Crows. I think August and Everything After is like one of the best albums ever written. And then on a more like emo side of things, I really got into This Wild Life, which I mean, I just fell in love with that duo. I think they're so sick. I would like listen to it, windows up, just cry in my car. It's great. I like that kind of stuff.
Ayo.
I ended up getting softer. Like I listened to Dance Gavin Dance and stuff like that, but then just really started to dig like acoustic music and like just sad boy shit. Listen to like City and Color and like Milk Carton Kids and just a bunch of random shit like that. Yeah. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Brandon?
Yeah. For me, I guess like growing up, I remember like some of my first CDs were like Fall Out Boy and Green Day and like all that kind of stuff. But as I like came to my own in music, I was very much into like a lot of Warped Tour bands. So I was like Many Prayers my favorite bands, and I kind of grew up on them, playing all their tracks, and then but I had my like a Day Remember phase, my Alexana phase, like all that, like hard, like Escape the Fate. I was trying to do my screams in the shower, you know what I mean? But that never worked out. But as I got older, like Dalton mentioned, like the Wonder Years, those kind of bands I kind of fell into. Story So Far. And then as I've gotten older, I've kind of fallen more into like Movements is probably one of my other favorite bands, but I've fallen more into a lot of indie stuff, a lot of I went and saw oh my gosh, what was his name? He's here now. Noah Khan. I went and saw Noah Khan recently in Saratoga Springs, and he was freaking awesome. And so like even stuff like that, like Mumford & Sons, like that type of music, I often find myself listening to now. But we also have like those more emo Midwest, like like Hot Mulligan, or there's now those like newer bands like Good Hangs and Ben Quaid and one band that's no longer together that the singer and I really connect over is a band that's from Buffalo called Pentimento. I'm not sure if you're familiar with their work.
Oh yeah, oh my god.
But their drummer just released a new record, I think about like less than a month ago now. Hotel Etiquette. I just posted about him today. Freaking love him. Send him to Eric. He was like, "Yo," he's like, "I forgive Pentimento for breaking up because this is sick." Like, all right, this is like, so shout out to them. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like as we kind of all mentioned, as we've grown older, like it's interesting how you still have that love for those older bands, but then you kind of discover new ones, whether it's in our own scene or just ones that we may have never listened to before.
Yeah, I think I think it's important to have that sort of barometer, right? Like I always stress that like at least I'm always trying to grow as like a listener and trying to engage in different genres of music, because I think it makes me more of a wide variety interviewer, where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I like this real interesting like niche indie pop act that like people have never heard of. And then also I love the stuff that like you could barely make out the screaming. There's so much blast beats going on that'll break your face off, like I love that shit, so I think it's the necessary need that like bands need to take to kind of evolve and change. I just feel like, given all of the groups that you guys have talked about, I'm feeling like you guys are gonna do like an acoustic, like folksy kind of like now rendition. I feel like that's the writing's on the wall now. I feel like that's happening.
I feel like you never know because we have so many different artists that we pull from. I mean, you could see me and Eric at a Born of Osiris concert, or you could see Brandon at a Noah Khan concert, and neither one of them are gonna feel out of place. So it's like you never know. Maybe we'll get a 7-string and then we'll write an acoustic acoustic song right afterwards, so we'll have like all that different variety
Yeah.
on there. You never know.
That is gonna be
Acoustic
good.
7-string.
Dude, that would
Acoustic
be wild.
seven string.
Acoustic
Acoustic
7-string bass.
Gent acoustic. I'm ready.
Acoustic gent, yeah,
Yeah.
acoustic gent. We're gonna invent the
I'm
genre.
ready. Guys, don't
Or
take
you
this.
made a
This
groove,
is
acoustic.
yeah. This is
Whoa.
trademarked. This whole segment is getting cut
Low
out.
acoustic notes.
The band has told me to cut this whole segment out so that they can use this idea. So
Top secret.
it's top secret. Yeah. This is for only the Patreons if you're watching it now. No, I think it's cool. I like like I said, I think the way that you guys kind of tackle like nostalgia in a way that's more modernized, I think that's like, to me, is like one of the coolest things about bands in the genre now, especially I would say like within the emo scope of music, is like the way that it's still like it felt so familiar listening to Settled, even though I had never listened to it. You know, there was something about it that just felt like I was like, I know this. Like I feel like I know this album, but I haven't listened to it. So it was like that kind of like weird like limbo of like I enjoy this a lot and I want to keep listening to it because I feel like there's going to be one song that I'm going to be like, I've heard this song before, but I haven't. So, and I think that that's kind of like the magic of the record is like, to me, that it's like that constant chasing of something that you know, but you know you'll never get there, kind of like it's like cool. It's a cool way to be about it. So I would definitely check out Settled. This isn't the first time I'm going to plug it, so you can check the links in the description. Go pick it up. Go buy a T-shirt. Go see it. Go see them. I'm sure they're gonna be playing PA soon. So if you're in PA, go out and see them. But the next question I have for you guys is a fun one. If you guys could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
Come on, we got to pick. I loved about our cover sets is how we used to all switch instruments. It was like something that everyone would be like, "Oh man, this is wild!" Like every single one of us would sing a different song or something. I think with the exception of Brandon, never got to sing, but he played bass on a song and stuff like that.
I did play bass. I don't know how to play bass.
The fire drill.
Some of those, yeah.
Oh, Luke's gone.
Oh God, Luke's gone.
We lost Luke.
No.
As soon as he said bass,
he was like Brandon's taking over bass. I'm leaving.
Yeah, oh, there he's back.
Oh no.
What the? I just didn't want to listen to him anymore. I'm like, get me out of here.
But so anyway, so for cover songs, I think for us, I would love to do a song like whether it was Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger, or we did Zombie by the Cranberries, or we did, a bunch that Luke would sing. I think that would those songs would be really fun to play.
I think I don't know if you guys have the same answer as me, but Round Here is still by far my favorite
Round
song
Here,
ever play.
Round Here
For
by
us,
Counting
yeah.
Crows.
Come on.
That's I just freaking love that song. Every time I listen to it, all I think
We
about
did
is Maguas.
a really cool kind of, I wouldn't say it was a private show, but it was at the Sherman Theater Showcase, and this was 2 years ago now. Coming up on
Close
2.
to it.
No,
Yeah.
I guess.
February of
We did
2020,
we did a cool thing where we brought back the covers for one night, and me and
nice.
Eric did like a half-hour acoustic set, took a break, got a beer, then we went up, did 45 minutes of covers, and we did like some new stuff too, and then we did our whole original show afterwards. It was a really cool night, but we premiered the Maguas Counting Crows version that night, and it was really sick.
Yeah.
It's
So
fun one.
I agree with Brandon on that one.
Well, what would you want? That's what your pick? You want the Round Here?
That would be cool. I'd love to cover a Jimmy Eat World song.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go.
Something by
Okay.
Jimmy Eat
Bleed
World.
American or Sweet?
Yeah, Bleed American,
Sweetness.
Middle, any of those.
Yeah,
Their
those are
catalog's amazing. So
I really want to do a cover of All Who Remain by The Darkness. Or Beware of Darkness, not The Darkness. Sorry, my bad.
No.
All Who Remain. Dude, I got the YouTube videos. But
Oh my
yeah,
God.
I just think that song's so sick, All Who Remain. And I think the build up in it's awesome. It'd be cool to like rebuild it and just like mess around with it.
What do you think Eric would pick if he was here?
yo,
Maybe something by Balance and Composure or something like that.
Ooh.
yeah,
And something
Yeah.
like he likes
Hot
all those-
Mulligan perhaps.
Hot
Yeah,
Mulligan.
Hot Mulligan. That's I don't know.
He
What
does
was
have a
Eric
cover.
doing
He has a cover of what He Wasn't There by Hot Mulligan that's circulating somewhere in our email.
Honestly, I think
Something-
Eric's really into the round here too, though.
Mhm.
I think he really
Yeah.
likes that one.
I think Eric would have the most eccentric answer out of all of us. That's the thing. Like,
Yeah,
I think he would
that's
pick a
what
song that none of us. It could be anywhere from the most popular song you've ever heard to like a song that we don't even know. So I mean, I think that's what it would be.
I'm trying to think I'm trying to think of what I would like to hear. you
Eric
guys
should be
cover.
Pentimento.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I need Pentimento.
Yeah.
Oh man, let me think. I think you guys. I don't know. I think it would be interesting to hear your guys' take on like a Day to Remember song. I feel like that would be. I think that would
Ooh.
be interesting to hear. Like, I think one of not like their like. I mean, obviously, I know you guys can do heavy songs, but I think it would be interesting to hear like more of a emo tinged like version of one of their classic songs. I think that would be kind of interesting to see.
Hell yeah.
That would be sick.
If I had to pick
definitely
non emo, I feel like you should do like a pop song. You know, I love a good pop ghost punk version. So
Yeah.
I feel like
Of
a
course.
pop song. I think maybe like I don't know, like I'd be down for like some Harry Styles. I think that'd be kind of
Oh,
I'd be about
Will
that.
adore you.
Love Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Not to bite Dustin Kensrue, but I would love to do Buzzcut season. That'd be
Ooh.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Any Lord cover, I'd be down
I'm
for it.
so into Lord.
Lord
Lord
is
is great.
Me, Eric, and Luke jammed Pure Heroin for like exclusively for a whole year, and at the end of high school, that was
I have Starbucks to thank for that.
yeah.
Basic white girl thing I could say, but there was a phase in high school where I'd go to Starbucks and they used to have like a CD on display at the register, and I was like, and I'd buy it. I got into so many bands. That's how I got into Lord. That's how I got into Alt J. I'm like, this is dope.
Yo, I
I'm
love
a big
it.
Starbucks
Wow.
CD enthusiast.
I think you
gotta
might be
tell
the first
Jeremy.
person, Luke, that I've ever heard say like, you know what? Instead of going for the coffee, I'm buying the CD.
Luke
Yeah,
went to
it was
Starbucks
great.
like the rest of us went to FYE. That's what he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where does Luke get his music from? He gets it from Starbucks. You know?
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Can
cute.
I get a double A Sparta and the Lord CD behind the counter?
That's amazing. Well, Starbucks, if you're still making CDs, I think Luke wants one. So if you want to
That's
send
it.
him one, just
I
do
love
it.
Put
it.
settled out there. Put settled in Starbucks. That's what
Settled in
we
Starbucks.
Yeah, it's settled in
I think we need it.
Starbucks. Let's go. Let's
There's
go.
an
It's not
audience
really
there, man.
coffee shop music. Although it'd be fun.
I
That'd
don't
be
know.
cool. Is Aldray and Lord coffee shop?
Oh my god, Alt J is totally coffee shop music. You can't,
You said it.
you
I
can't
don't go to
understand
coffee
like a word he
shops.
says. People are just drinking coffee. Like, this is great. That's me. It's awesome.
It's just white noise. It's just like,
Yeah, it's great, but it's like
Until you listen to
unironically
it,
good.
it's like, until you listen to it like hardcore and you realize all the lyrics are just messed up.
The lyrics are very messed up.
Insane.
That's like a fundamental core memory for me, because I got into Alt J and I was like super deep and I was reading all the lyrics. I'm like, this guy is a lyrical genius. It's a shame you can't
it's
get
too
it
bad
from
that
but anyway.
Starbucks is so loud that I can't hear it.
But I was like super into it, and I'm watching TV one day in my living room, and it's a Nokia phone commercial that's playing. Oh shit, what song is it? It was playing one of Alt J's songs, and I was like, oh my god, this song is in a commercial, because the lyrics are horrible. Like, the content of it is like so bad. I'm like, if they
So
knew what this
dark.
song is about, no
Yeah.
shot at being a phone commercial.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh my god.
I don't want to say what the content of it was. It's really bad. But
Just search up Alt J phone commercial.
yeah,
Oh,
I
God.
wish I could remember the song, so you could go check it out. What the heck was it?
Don't worry.
I'll think of it.
I'll go track it down. I'm sure something.
You're gonna play it during the
Description,
I'm
computer.
gonna take. I'm gonna put it at like a extremely low dB in the background, and it's just like we're in Starbucks, guys. It's a real thing.
Yeah, don't worry
I'm
about
gonna
it.
start
Don't worry
making
about
like coffee shaking noises and be like, "So you want the venti? The venti? Yeah, the venti. Okay.
It's pleasure. That's the
It's a
song.
pleasure.
It's pleasure.
Well, that's
There
great.
you go.
I love that. Well, guys, if you do have any suggestions for the band, you can drop them in the comments. I can't guarantee they'll do it, but I feel like, plate suggestion goes a long way. So if you got a good one, let them know down below. But wanted to know, guys, another fun one. What is your favorite food to eat?
Luke, go ahead, start it off.
We'll be here a while. Start it off. I have to go
Yeah.
through like 600 things. I'm going last.
Hey,
I have a lot of evaluating to do.
Oh, all right. So,
James
Brandon,
has
go
one
ahead.
shit.
Mine's pretty easy.
I'll go first. Because
Pretty easy.
I think you
I,
could all guess mine.
Oh,
if
yeah.
it was a last meal, I'd say either a nice steak. I am a meat eater. I don't
Wow.
know.
Oh,
Some people don't like
controversial.
it.
Very
Which is
brave of
fine.
you.
Oh,
to say
thank you.
that.
Thank you for coming out, Brandon. I appreciate it.
I do enjoy
I
steak.
don't know. Or pasta soup, a nice Italian soup. It's a nice. But those would be my two
Soup guy
picks. You
over
know,
here.
I'm going out with a hot bowl of soup
And a steak.
and a steak.
And a steak.
Can't forget it.
How do you
yeah.
cook your steak, Brandon? How do you like it?
Basically, like just right there. You know, just murder it
Just
right there. And just eat it.
He likes murdering them.
You're like,
Okay, that's
you
fine.
take a bite
I'll
of the
take
animal.
it. Yeah, I'll take it. That's a power move. I like that. Yeah. If you said well done, I would have kicked you out. As you know, like, we would have
Brandon's left the chat.
we would kick you out of the
Brandon,
Brandon Council. The Brandon Council would not approve of that.
Yeah.
Would not. Yeah. Not be
Well,
bad.
Yeah, Jenks, give us the
Yeah,
answer.
James,
as well,
give
pal.
us.
All right. My favorite food is potatoes.
That's it.
There it is.
He's
They're
a potato
incredible.
man.
I'm the spudsman.
Yeah.
I ate last November I decided that I was gonna eat potatoes for 30 days, only potatoes.
Wait, what?
And I should have like made like TikToks or I didn't plan
you
it out
should
well
have.
enough.
Yeah. Holy shit.
My Instagram was popping. Like I've never had more action on my
It's the potato. Yeah. All the potato
And,
people came out and they're like, yes, yes.
Well, it's crazy. 'Cause every time I was like playing afterwards with the band or doing just going out in public, anywhere,
Mid-set, just
shopping at
eating
the
a
grocery
potato,
store,
yeah.
I'd see somebody I know or you know, a friend that I knew, maybe haven't talked to in 4 years, they'd be like, hey, what's up? Oh, good to see you. Hey, are you still eating potatoes, by the way? Like I'm like, everybody knows about this. Like the entire
Like,
town of
Matt, you're like, Matt, are you still eating potatoes? Don't lie to us. I know you're eating
People were
potatoes.
so concerned about my health. I'm like, listen, it was only a month.
It's only a month of snow.
Also, there's way worse things you could eat, you know? Like potatoes.
Like I was getting DMs like, stop it. You're gonna die. Like I can't even make this up. It was so crazy. But yeah, potatoes are awesome. They're so good for you. They're versatile as all hell. Eat more potatoes.
He never stopped. He actually just
Boom.
kept going.
And you know what?
actually is still going.
Yeah, I never stopped. I still only eat potatoes.
Just before we hopped on, he just shoveled down a bunch of
I
potatoes.
should just stop
thanks.
launch it right here.
Tell 'em
You heard
about
it here
it.
first.
Yeah.
Jenks, you got to tell them about hot sauce potatoes. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh well.
Well, yeah.
that's
Tell me about these hot. Yeah. Give me it. Give me a tease.
HSP, Brandon.
HSP, baby.
HSP.
Everybody knows HSP.
It's hot sauce
Hot
potatoes.
sauce potato. Well, you know, hot sauce, red hot, an amazing topping for a potato. You know, it's a great. So, you know, HSP. That's
Everywhere we go.
what
The studio, he just buys back
Dude.
potatoes and hot sauce, and that's it.
I was gonna say he travels light. He brings a
Yeah.
case of water and then just a 5-pound bag of potatoes.
You know what would be great? You know what would have been great is if
I'm
he
that
showed
guy.
up to the studio and he opens up his suitcase and it's just potatoes. He's like, "Did you bring any
That's what it
clothes?"
is.
And you're like, "No, I don't need it. I just got the potatoes. That's all I need." You know?
Well,
Yeah.
it's so funny because Nick like thinks it's the craziest thing. You know, he's like filming me and like sending Snapchats to people. And, like
They're like, "Look
in
at
the
this
corner of the
fucking
room.
crazy guy
I'm
recording
like,
guitar."
You
and
can't
all
eat your
that.
potatoes in peace.
I know
Like-
you just can't bring your
Nick's-
potatoes around anybody and
Nick's
your hot
like-
sauce, you know.
Nick's like filming a
Yeah.
documentary. He's like, this was day 67 of Matt eating potatoes. What is he going to put on his potatoes today? Maybe sour cream? I don't know.
Never.
He's
I
going
don't
for
think
the
I've
hot
ever
sauce.
seen Jinx put sour cream on a potato.
Me
That
either.
is-
It's mostly just hot sauce.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Sauce.
Put sour cream on it or cheese, whatever. I don't know.
I should.
Fuck. Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
do that tomorrow.
Somebody better buy their record so that Jenks can put other
Jenks can
stuff
afford
in
that.
just hot
For
sauce.
every record we sell,
Very
I
tight
could
budget.
buy-
Yeah.
Only for hot sauce and
Yeah.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Every record we
He's
sell,
taking
he buys
a hard
different
line in
thing.
the sand. He's just like,
Cheese
just
is a
hot sauce.
luxury.
yeah,
Can't do it.
Your doctor must
Oh,
love
God.
you. That's all I'm gonna say. What'd you have? What did your diet consist of, Matt? Oh, just potatoes. Oh,
That's
and
hot
anything
sauce.
else? And hot sauce. That's it. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh,
I
God.
still eat a lot of potatoes.
I would
Yeah.
assume.
Just
I would
not
assume nothing
only.
less. I assume nothing less. Honestly, considering you went on a
Gotta let
rant for
people know.
potatoes for like 10 minutes, I imagine you're like you're a diehard stance on potatoes. I respect it.
Oh,
You're gonna die on that hill. Respect.
Yes.
oh.
Dalton,
Well,
what do you got?
Spuds is
me?
life.
for me, I think I'd either go with a good old quesadilla. I love myself a good
Ooh.
quesadilla.
Good old
Let's
quesadilla.
Good old
go.
quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
Love me some pizza. Those are like the two comfort. If I'm gonna go something though, I think I could eat every single day. Probably like a chicken parm hoagie.
Ooh.
That's wild.
That
You
is
think
wild.
you eat a chicken parm hoagie every day?
I think I could. I
All right,
love that.
we're starting
That's
right
my
now.
favorite shit in the world.
That's
Tomorrow
crazy. All
we're
right,
starting
nothing
the
but
30-day
chicken parm
challenge.
hoagies for a
I'm
month.
not doing it. If I work for a month, I'm not eating only chicken parm hoagie.
Here we go.
Dalton's like,
Oh, come on,
Dalton's
you're
guys,
hungry,
bro.
you're
He's like, hey,
I'm
what's
just
going on,
saying.
guys? This is day
I'm just
one
saying
of
I
me
love 'em.
eating chicken
That's all I'm
parm
saying.
sandwiches for the next 30 days. Fuck yeah.
The
And then
chicken
just
parm
like,
challenge.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
That'd be great.
Go ahead, Luke. You get on your rant. This is
I'm
be a
not gonna
long
go
one.
on a rant. Maybe a little one.
give me a look. Give me a look.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm between a couple things, but I
Okay.
think if I was forced to pick one thing, I'd probably go with ramen because it's really versatile. You could change it up a lot and still get your ramen. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Get a nice soy marinated egg. Soft boiled. Don't want it to be hard boiled. That's crazy. Like, come on.
Yeah, who does that?
Yeah, no, don't do that.
It's
I
like-
get so upset when that happens.
That's like eating your steak well done. Like, why would you want that?
Yeah,
The fuck's
this
wrong
isn't
with
how
you?
it's supposed to be.
Luke's also an
I'm-
amazing cook,
Oh,
by
yeah.
the way.
Oh,
And
for a
chef.
couple years, yeah.
chefing
but-
it up.
That and then Italian food has a special place in my heart. So I like fettuccine alfredo, but if I ate that every day, oh my god, that would be.
That's Luke's 30-day challenge is the fettuccine. Alfredo.
No, I do ramen for 30 days. I can figure that out. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Well, I feel like all of you guys are just gonna have a 30-day challenge to eat what you just said
That's
your
it.
favorite food is.
Well,
We're gonna check
I'll be
back with-
70 pounds heavier. Yeah, don't worry
I think
about it.
we all-
Jace
I've been
Jace
down
will be
that path
fine with the
before.
potatoes. He'll be
Jace
fine.
is
what
fine.
was Brandon's? What was a
Masatelle
steak?
soup
Oh,
or
you'd be
steak.
fine eating a steak for 30 days.
Yeah,
That'd be
steak
great.
and chicken soup. Brandon be fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a
Yeah.
lot of protein.
I'd
I'd have to worry about
ripped up.
sodium. Dalton would be dead. That would-
I would be dead. That's all right. That's
the
okay.
big brother.
I'll go down with a chicken parm hoagie in my mouth.
Yeah.
That'd be insane.
Oh my
I hope
god.
that actually doesn't happen. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
put anybody into the hospital, cardiac arrest, or going to or getting
How did he
death
go
threats.
out? Well, he ate 270 chicken parm hoagies in 30 days.
I don't.
I wonder
yeah.
how you would have to do it. Would you I wonder if you would just eat one a day and just have to basically
It
starve
depends.
the rest
It
of the week.
depends on how big the
The rest
chicken
of the day.
parm hoagie would be. Because some
Right.
You gotta
people
get
they
your
make the
3
chicken
meals a
parm.
day.
It's a little bit smaller than others. I probably could eat 2 of those. But if it's loaded up, maybe that's a one meal a
Struggling.
day sort of
Yeah.
thing. I mean, you're doing the intermittent fasting. I'd probably be fine.
That's it. That's it. Probably.
I'll take some.
yeah,
I was
probably.
gonna say.
Yeah,
I feel like
I'll
after day
take some
15, you would be
probiotics.
forced to fast because you just wouldn't want it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'd
I
feel
mean,
so
probably.
bad.
And then,
Yeah.
and then one of your band members comes out of some bushes, is like, "Hey Dalton, did you have your chicken parm?" And you're
No, they
like,
keep
"No, I
eyes on
can't."
me,
And
I'm
you're like,
sure.
"Open up, man. We got to give it to you." You know, you gotta complete the
God.
challenge.
He gets me on stage, it'll be rough.
Oh
Oh,
man.
I mean, I have no room to talk. I ate 5 Italian hoagies in a weekend at the studio.
You did.
The place across the street, you could get the long hots on it and the broccoli raw. And I'm like, well, don't mind if I do. And then I'm like, I'm going to be leaving soon, so I got to get this in. So I started double ordering. And then I'd have a hoagie to eat at night and then put one in the fridge. In the morning, I'm like, I might eat that other hoagie. And then I ended up eating 5 hoagies.
And they are pretty good.
Luke will be coming back every 30 minutes. Luke will come back from a different place. I got more Italian hoagies.
You just got a jacket full. He's like, "Which one you want? You want this one? You want this one?" You know,
Yeah.
I got you.
Come on,
Oh,
forget
yeah.
about it.
Forget about it. Oh,
Luke's an Italian hoagie dealer. I respect it. I respect the hustle.
Booming market.
Yeah, the
You'd be
booming market.
surprised.
Yeah, stonks are high. So
Yeah.
very good.
Oh.
Diamond hands.
The next question I have for you guys is, if you were to have a guest feature on an up-and-coming song of yours, who would you love to have on? This question gets split into two parts. The first answer is one that's more feasible. You ask some friends, some homies, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, let them know. And then the second part of that question is, the manifestation. We're putting it out there. We want to put the positive juju out there.
You guys have anybody in mind?
I mean, for me, it's easily Soupy. Soupy could be my answer for both of those. I absolutely love his voice, and I think that anything on like one of our records being so like emo and so sad in nature, I think he'd just knock it out of the park, and I think he'd be a perfect fit with Eric especially.
Oh yeah.
Someone else go.
I'll say, I'll do one that I think we talked about this before, but maybe one that I think is attainable for us to be, and I might butcher his last name, Andy Civic. Sizik, yeah. From I guess he was in Wonder, Makari, and Monuments. I think he's in the Million Bands.
Yeah,
but Eric loves him. Eric loves him, and I think he would sound really awesome. Just having that the higher voice and the power of his voice, and Eric has a very powerful voice too. I think those two together would be like, whoa, that's wild. In terms of like a reach, I don't know. I don't know. I guess just a voice that I personally would enjoy would like something like Shane Told. I think would be cool because like Silver Scene, like that kind of vibe. That kind of, I also love like the productions. They do a lot of stuff with Sam Guina. If I said that right, I don't know, but those productions are really sick. I think having him on a song and like having the right mix, I think would be really sick. Yeah,
about it.
Everybody keeps saying we sound like Thursday, so let's get Jeff Rickley on a track.
There you go.
There you go. That'd be nuts.
Let's go.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? Yeah. Tell us now.
There's so many bands I'd love to have. That's like the toughest question ever.
Yeah, it is a hard
I want to collab with everybody.
I think dream feature might be like Spencer Sotelo. I think that'd be really, really sick to have him on one of our heavier tracks. I think that'd be really cool. Or one of the lighter tracks. So everyone a curveball. They're like, this is gonna be heavy as fuck, and it's just Spencer like falsetto vibing.
Man's got range though. I'll tell you what.
I know.
I think he could do it.
Yeah, I think Spencer Sotelo is a super, super impressive vocalist. I think that'd be really, really cool. And of course, Dallas Green. That's another one that'd be absolutely sick. Yeah.
I would be on board with all of those. So
I also like the idea of throwing in a female singer. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh yeah.
Call up Pink.
There you go.
Pink.
Yo.
Listen, you can get Pink.
Why not call up Taylor Swift?
Why not? I mean,
might as well.
Yeah. T-Swift's from Pennsylvania, so let's go.
Oh yeah.
She's from right around here.
Yeah,
she's like 45 minutes out from where we grew up.
She went to the high school right down the road from my cousins.
There it is.
That's crazy.
She moved to Nashville.
Basically related to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know her, right, Dalton?
I mean, we know a guy that knows a guy that might work with your dad.
I'll just call her up like, hey, what's up, Taylor?
Going to the gas station in Jessup, you're like, yeah, I know her dad.
Yeah, back in the day, we used to hang out.
We used to throw rocks at the train.
Yeah. At the end, we go down there, we get a couple 2-3 beers, hang out, no big deal.
This whole storyline.
Let's get Travis Kelce to feature on a track.
That's it.
Jason Kelce.
Jason Kelce.
Oh, wait a minute. Is he sing?
They did that special. Yeah,
we could get the entire Philly O line. Yeah, that would.
They did a Christmas. They did a Christmas album. It's pretty good.
It is, man. It hurts him to say this.
Yeah, well, I'd make an exception for Jason Kelce. I like
me too.
I'll make an exception. It's fine.
Yeah, for a famous person to sing our song.
Whatever.
It's got to talk about us on that podcast of his, though.
Yeah,
that's the main requirement of it. Yeah,
they'll just these guys just have to open up an Eagles game. I think that's just what has to happen. You know, you guys
That'd
are,
be,
Can I
Don't
open up
you
an
do it
Eagles
in a
game
Cowboys
in a Cowboys
jersey?
jersey?
we'd get
Can I do that
killed.
in a Cowboys jersey? I don't know if that
No,
would go.
so bad. That'd be so
What if we're
bad.
playing? What if you're playing the
I wouldn't allow
Cowboys?
Yeah.
No,
you
that
know,
would be worse. If they were
That would be awful.
Cowboys, it would be
You
worse.
get like so much
Actually
you would
murdered.
get stoned.
Yeah.
thrown at us.
But
Yeah.
I would get
Yeah, it would be
murdered,
so
yeah.
bad.
I mean, I
could
lived in Philly for
reenact the,
6 years. I understand it all. I'm not. I would never. I would never do that.
Yeah, it's one thing if some
I'd
random
probably
dude
wear
just,
an
like, walking
Eagles
through,
jersey.
like,
No,
we
I'd
get
probably
so
wear an
much
Eagles
bad
jersey
PR
just
to
to
be
not
crazy.
like die. Yeah, I think you have to like play PR and not and for your life, honestly.
Yeah, we would instantly become like the most hated band in Philadelphia.
You for
Yeah.
sure
Be like,
would.
fuck
Yeah.
these dudes.
There's no
Yeah.
shot. You're like, you could like,
Oh.
oh man, I would be like, yeah, I had this band on, I didn't know what they were doing, but hey, you know, it is what it is, you know, respect. Then I start playing taps, and then it's just,
It'd be so bad.
it'd be like, guys, listen, I'll have to do like one of those YouTube apology videos, you know, I'll have to be like, hey, listen, guys, so I had this band
So
on,
this band.
and they didn't
Then
do
you pull out
something
your
real cool.
ukulele.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I'm like,
That's
this
it.
toxic, my glass chain. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
There we go. We'll do that. But if you guys want to see this insane collab happen that may or may not start a riot somewhere, you can do that first by following the Maguas on Instagram first and foremost, and then secondly, then you can tag all of these bands, also including the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, since that's apparently what we're doing now. So if you just want to throw them all into a hat and then type the word collab ? I've been on the internet long enough to know that it's probably real. So
There we go.
just do it up.
Hey, what if we just got them all on one?
All
Yeah.
in one. Yeah, one
There we
track.
go.
That's gonna be crazy. Super
track.
group. The next question I have for you guys is my personal favorite. I'm a huge nerd, so I love asking this. If you guys could be a video game character, who would you be?
Oh my god, another one.
I
He's
love
asking
it.
heavy hitters out here.
Yeah.
I'm like the
I-
neckbeard
another
dude
one.
that's sweating into his Red Bull playing like World of Warcraft. So.
Real quick for me, I think that I would love to just be the character in Stardew Valley and just run around and do like all those little tasks all day.
You pick a character without a name.
Well, no, it's your character, so I would love to be that character.
I'd
I
love
would
to be
love to
Dalton.
Stardew
Yeah.
Valley.
But I just want to be in Stardew Valley. I just want to run around and do little tasks.
love it.
and
Yeah.
enjoy
Dalton's
life
an
and not worry
NPC.
about
That's what we
money.
realized. Is
That's
he's
Yeah,
an NPC.
exactly.
Yeah. He's gonna start doing the
It's like-
NPC TikTok live streams.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
He's like,
yeah.
hey, I play guitar in this band.
Yes, that's fine by me. I'll just sit there and pick my parsnips and sell them.
It's tasteful. You're in it for the ambiance.
Yeah,
exactly. You know the funniest thing about your answer though is
What?
that you could literally do that like now. You could just start farming.
It's so much easier in the game
Yeah.
than actually farm. It is. So much
Yeah, you just have to
easier.
press one button, Luke, to just
Yeah,
hit.
exactly.
Man,
Man, if
You
I
can
have,
do
like,
that.
The upgraded, if I have the upgraded tools, I do like 17 squares at a time. It's fine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't do that farming. And the startup cost of actually farming is so much different than Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Your grandfather gives
Where
you
you
a
inherit-
farm,
economy.
Like a ranch.
you inherit a farm, and then they give you stuff to make it work. I'll take
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
great.
That's fair. That's optimal. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Let's see.
So, all right, I was thinking deep and hard about this one. I'd have to be a character in World of Warcraft, like a real life like orc.
Oh, tell me you pick Thrall. You want to be?
Do I have to pick a orc, a specific orc? I'm just gonna be like an orc.
have to be
not
someone
not like the king
specific,
of, not
yeah,
like
no.
Thrall.
Thrall's dope,
I
Thrall.
like it.
Who else is there? I should know. I haven't played WoW in a hot
dude.
minute.
It's been a minute.
I've only
Oh.
spent probably 300 million days on that game
Yeah,
in the past.
Right now.
I'd be
Nick just
I'd be-
timeless. He was there when the mountains were made.
He
Playing
is
World
a
of
god.
Warcraft.
I'd be an orc. I'd be an orc in World of Warcraft. That's
He
my-
is World of Warcraft.
He is World of
Yeah,
Warcraft. I am World of Warcraft.
And now I have become World of Warcraft.
Yes.
Wow.
There's so many good video game characters. I mean, mine's pretty basic, honestly. I'm sure this answer happens a lot, but I'd probably say Ash Ketchum.
There you go.
Just because being in that world would be dope as fuck. If it
Let's
weren't for the
go.
implication, you know, like
The implication.
he's like 12. I
Yeah,
have to be
that's true.
12, like
Forever.
actually
Forever.
12.
And they
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they de-age him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and like in the shows, he's
one.
an absolute moron. So that's also upsetting.
Hey,
but
that's fine.
yeah, I mean, I just want to catch Pokemon and just have a bunch of Pokemon all the time.
Him
I
in
wish
the
that's
show,
fun.
he didn't care a single bit
That's
about
solid.
typing or anything like that. He
No,
didn't care
his
at
party's
all,
terrible, and he catches
yeah.
a Butterfree and immediately releases it. It's like you don't understand how this works. Like, you don't get what you're supposed to be doing right now.
Just leaves him alone.
Oh,
Go away.
Be free, Butterfree.
Yeah. And he
He
starts
like released it
crying.
into his family. Yeah,
That's
it's
how-
ridiculous.
That's how you know he's a
episode
true
where-
emo. Ash is an
The front-
emo, you know?
That's
Yeah,
it.
it's-
Butterfree
There's a
came
whole
back though
episode
in the
where
last
he,
season.
like-
Yeah.
Isn't there a
that's
whole
true.
episode where he gets like rolled by a team of sand shrooms? Like it's just only those,
Yeah.
and he has nothing to combat it. He's
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
terrible,
yeah,
terrible.
you're not wrong.
Listen, we didn't say he was the
Listen, he has heart.
sharpest tool in the shed, you know? Like, yeah.
He
He
has
was 12.
heart.
Yeah, he has heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
What do you want from the kid? He's
He-
12.
He
He's
also
doing
turned
his
into
best.
he also turned into a rock, you know? Like
Yeah.
So
it's true.
I mean,
Tears brought him back.
tears brought him back.
And I
yeah.
mean, he's like
Can we just-
perpetually electrocuted, so that might have something to do with it too.
That's true. It's
His
true.
brain's just fried.
yeah.
Just endlessly electrocuted by Pikachu.
He only knows one word and it's just thunderbolt. That's all he knows.
Yeah.
So he just continues to say it.
Well,
And eventually it works out for him.
And
you know,
it
like,
just works
it's-
out. Yeah.
But yeah, at least you have plot armor.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true.
I know.
That's
You
true.
pick a character that
That's
gets like dead.
Brandon, what do you got?
You know, it's tough because like I don't know. I love all the like different types of video games, but I'm gonna go with like just the games I grew up with. So I'm torn between Link from Legend of Zelda, like straight up just even though he doesn't say anything, which would be great. Just fucking do it because I talk all the
You're
time.
just a silent maniac with a sword.
Yeah, I'm fucking cutting shit up. And then when he builds shit, so I'll just be like building things all over the place, like
Climbing.
Yeah.
climbing. That's
Climbing.
all I love to do. I guess if I could choose a second, I don't know if we can. I grew up playing a lot of those like Dragon Ball Z, like fighting games, like Budokai Tenkaichi. So of course you gotta go with like
Yeah.
Goku the OG, you know. But like
Goku. I mean,
going through the whole anime of like that.
that's
you
a good
know?
one.
Yeah,
Piccolo, you'll get best. I won't
Piccolo,
do
you know,
anything else.
That's it. But yeah, Goku would have been. He has a lot of
Piccolo's
transformations. You know, you can really play with that.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny though? We were talking about Ash being emo. I think Link is probably the most emo video game character of all time, right? Because he's
Yeah, I would
always
imagine. Real.
chasing after the girl,
That's
and he
true.
is always rescuing, but never gets any like recognition. He never gets
And he plays the
every
flute.
the entire franchise is you get to the finish line and then like fall down again.
Doesn't he
Yeah.
play an ocarina, not a flute?
It's an ocarina.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
one.
yeah, there you go.
You
Yeah,
have
I can
one?
pull it
That's
out,
dope.
yeah.
Dude, the
I do.
Ocarina of
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
That's entire
Yeah, I know. Well,
Yeah.
Brandon said flute,
that
and I was
thing.
like, that's wrong.
Come on. And you'd get a horse that you could
A
just
horse.
call anytime you pwn
Uh-huh.
on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm. It's a
that's
good-
true.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
And in the new one, I would have a robotic arm, which would be cool. You know.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the implication of how you lost your arm.
Yeah. If it weren't for
the implication.
yeah, the implication. If you have not played the game, you should do that. But
Yeah.
I feel like I have, obviously I love all of your answers, but I mean I feel like the most attached to Luke's answer because I am a huge Pokemon fan and I have,
Let's
there you
go.
I have an entire like setup. Like I literally have them
Hell
all
yeah.
over my room. So
I love
I've
Yeah.
been spending like the past couple of weeks just installing. I can't say this legally, but ROMs,
Redacted.
whatever. Fan
Redacted.
ROMs. Sue me,
His
Nintendo.
friend
Nintend's
is
watching. They're gonna
downloading
get me.
all of these.
coming after
Yeah.
you.
I've been playing
was
all the
literally-
fan ROMs, and they're awesome. Have you ever like done that?
I have
you-
played the fan ROMs as well. Yeah, they're sick.
Oh my
I love
god, they're
them.
so
That's your
good.
thing?
Yeah, I played like Rocket Red. Is that?
Yes, Rocket Red. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I played Prism. I played
Prism. I definitely feel
Fusion.
that.
Have you ever played Infinite Fusion?
Fusion is wild. Yeah, Fusion is
It's so
crazy.
sick, yeah.
Pokemon that you were sending constantly, where it was like,
Yeah, where you pick two and you fuse them
Pokemon-
together.
Oh,
and it's like
wow.
messed
Oh, yeah.
up thing, and you're like,
you
yeah.
pick
Yeah,
one
yeah.
biggest Pokemon that he
Does it-
got fused, and he'd be like, "I named Dalton. Here you go."
I wanted to find like the grossest ones you can find. Like I went purposefully on Instagram to find like the people that put the worst two Pokemon together, and I found
Yeah.
some really like fucking like scary shit. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I did Gyarados and Azumarill, and I had Gyarados as the head. So it's just Azumarill's like round body with Gyarados' like fish face on it, and I named it Dalton, and that was my. That one crushed, dude. You had Gyarados with super
oh
powered.
my
Yeah.
god.
love it.
I'm trying to think of the
That's
one that I
sick.
saw. I saw I think someone did Mr. Mime and Doug Trio together, and that was terrifying.
boy.
Yeah, I can
That was
imagine.
terrifying.
Oh,
I never wanted to. There's never
Wild.
been something that I've wanted to unsee in my entire life, but I feel like that was at that moment. I was like, yeah, I probably should go to bed. You know, I should go to sleep and not go down this rabbit hole. So yeah.
damn.
So shout outs to not. Totally not. We play these games and didn't do that. Totally, for legal
Yeah.
purposes.
Not
All your
illegal. I
friends
didn't
did
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
Yeah,
friends. did
totally.
it.
Yeah, we definitely did do that. My dad works at Nintendo, so it's fine. Anyway, next question, guys. If you were to compile a dream tour lineup, including your band, what would be on this lineup? To make it a little bit more difficult, each one of you pick one band, and this will
Oh.
be your lineup.
Oh.
Nice.
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 Oh.
I like it.
Who
Who
wants to
wants to go
start it?
first? I feel like first is easiest because no one could take it.
I'm gonna go with the story so far. They're killing it. I
Yeah.
love them.
Fair.
We get to tour with our boy Nick. I think they're
Unexpected.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't get the Wonder
be a
Years?
blast.
Or Daddy
I,
Nick.
I would love to go with the Wonder Years, obviously, but like I feel like the story so far is just we would have a great time with Nick. I think that's just what I.
Yeah, you want to
That's
be
great.
Daddy Nick.
I want to be a
Daddy
daddy.
Nick. I love Nick.
Daddy
Yeah.
That'd be
Nick.
great.
So I pick. Go
All right.
ahead.
Dude, I got to go with Turnstile.
Oh,
I
baby.
love Turnstile.
Sheesh.
They're also popping off right now. I
Yeah.
think that would be pretty dope.
I would pick Movements. I would love to go on
Nice.
tour with Movements.
Yes.
Let's go.
I think to round it out, I'm gonna go with the. I feel like this is kind of like a whatever. I want to say My Chem because I just feel like I've never seen them, and two, I think that would be a sick finale. I would think My Chem
Festival's
Girls.
gotta happen.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, who
We
said
don't
their
put-
headline?
No, it has to happen.
They got a headline.
Oh no, we're headlining. It's fine.
No, I'm all
knew
pumped
it.
up.
This is our dream, okay? We're thinking about them.
I'm glad you're helping out. That's
That'd be a
sick
great
local band, My Chemical Romance. That's crazy. That's
You might have heard of them.
You know, they
I mean, I
definitely
don't
did
really
pull
know
up.
who they are.
yeah. They seem really cool, honestly. So
Yeah.
definitely check them out if you haven't. They're
I
great.
don't
Yeah,
know
if you've ever
costumes,
seen them.
though.
Yeah. Costumes, leave something to be desired.
They're
But
just
hey,
trying to make a name for themselves. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
Yeah, that's it.
should just tell them motionless like white exists. But
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
That's it.
I don't want to be mean. But yeah,
Motionless and White, also from Scranton.
They
Yeah.
are also
Yeah.
from
Shout
Scranton.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great
Yeah.
bands from
Shout out
Scranton.
Motionless.
Love it.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's an untapped gem here, in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel like
that's it.
everybody's like Philly bands, or like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like
Yeah.
there's other cities in Pennsylvania, just
Scranton. We
Just
got
do.
a good claim for it with the Menzingers, Tigers
Yeah.
Job, Breaking
Yeah.
Band, Motionless and White.
Title
Title
fight,
fight.
kind of.
I mean,
got it all.
that's a pretty good
I
lineup
think-
right there.
I think Scranton bands are just Philly bands with like a hard edge depression.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's totally fair.
I don't think you've said any truer words, Luke. That I was a little taken aback. I was like, this
He's
is.
like, wow.
I was like,
Well,
this is
that's
actually
like-
on point.
fair,
This is,
bro.
yeah. This is not a hot take, So I like it. Guys, what is your favorite TV show, favorite movie?
Oh God, these are all
TV show's
spit-
easy. Peaky Blinders.
Oh.
Absolutely
Peaky
love
Blinders,
Peaky
Peaky
Blinders.
Blinders.
The Peaky
Well-
fucking Blinders. Tommy Shelby's a badass. I love everything about that show.
Mhm.
Well, now what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie? The Departed.
Ooh,
The
great
Departed.
choice. Great
The
choice.
Departed.
Departed.
What do
He
you
just
mean,
really
The
likes
Departed?
accents.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
The Departed.
Yeah. Departed.
Sitting on the couch. I have no idea what's going on, but I love their voices.
It's so fun to copy them. Oh,
That's
oh,
fair.
God.
Jenks, you were saying something?
I'm also a huge nerd. I love Lord of the Rings.
yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. It's one of my
What
favorite
movie
movies
of the
all
three?
time.
Yeah,
Probably my
which-
favorite. The movie of the three? Probably The Two Towers.
Ooh, okay.
Love
okay.
the two
Respect,
towers.
respect, respect, respect.
But, I'm gonna go with Lord of the Rings, then TV show. I'm gonna do a newer one, and I'm obsessed. I became obsessed with it. It's called Us. Have you guys heard of it?
No.
No.
All right,
No.
it's called MGM Plus. Is the network? It's like a new network. It's a pretty obscure network, but
More
it's an
subscriptions.
awesome. All right, so the show is about these people. They're like driving their cars somewhere, and they go down just a random road, and they end up in a town. And when they get to this town, everybody comes out and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna think we're crazy, but you're stuck here and you can't leave." And there's zombie creatures that come out at night and attack you and eat you. And people are like, "No way!" Like,
Yeah,
you're
this is
and then,
crazy.
And then it happens, but
And then they
there's
see a
just so much-
zombie.
there's just so much like lore and mystery that I just became obsessed. Like, what's going on? It's
I
like
have
the
to
show
watch
Lost.
Mhm.
It's
Can I bum your
freaking
MGM
amazing.
Plus?
Us. Yeah.
MGM Plus.
Yeah, can I bum your MGM Plus? subscription?
Absolutely.
Yeah, just stand in here.
Yeah, just say it out loud, please.
All right,
Yeah.
so you guys
Account
ready to get
details
your
right
phones
now.
up?
Can you also give us your social security number, and credit card
Yeah,
numbers. Yeah.
Remember the date and the CCV on the back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't forget
But,
that. That's important. Yeah.
Your mother's
No,
maiden name?
that's pretty awesome.
Oh my god. Awesome.
Not bad. For me, my favorite TV show is probably Succession. I
Ooh.
really love Succession. I think the script is so good. If I could pick another one, it'd probably be Silicon Valley
Ooh.
because
that's
I
good
am
one
a
too, yeah.
programming nerd, and it hits just right, you know. Movie wise, that's so much harder. Oh man, favorite movie? I would probably have to go with maybe like There Will Be Blood or No Country for Old Men.
Ooh.
I love those two movies. Or Children of Men. Children of Men's great.
Wow.
There will
Blood
be
of
blood
men.
and No Country for Old Men, both shot in the
Of
same
men.
spot at the same exact time.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
That's why I couldn't decide. They're the same movie to me. No,
Tell my brother.
he'd be so mad. They're great. They're great movies.
My brother's
I mean,
like
I
a
also love Lord of
cinephile.
the Rings.
You just
I'm
send him this
super-
clip. You're just like, hey,
Yeah,
can you watch
he'd
this
be
for me?
so mad.
Just send
He'd
him
be
this
so mad.
timestamp just
Put
before
it in
Luke
meme
says
format.
He'd be texting
Corporate.
Luke
What's the
immediately.
difference between these two? There is no difference.
Yeah,
Oh
he'd
my
hate
God.
it. He'd hate it.
I feel like
Yep.
I'm more of like a sitcom guy probably. So New Girl's probably my favorite show.
Yeah.
Love it. Watch it all the time. Very comforting. Or The Office because obviously it's great and all that jazz. But movie wise, Terrifier 2 by far is my favorite movie of all time. Yeah.
Ooh.
Easily. Yeah. And the third one's coming out next year. It's Christmas themed. Very excited.
Let's
There
go.
you
Yep.
Love
A lot
that.
of gore, a lot of fun.
A lot of
That's it.
gore. A lot
Brandon
of
love
Yeah.
I love it.
Brandon's like, I love blood, gore.
I could talk about those movies for
Possible way.
hours. I love them. It's technically, even though they're calling it Terrifier 3, it is technically the fourth one. Just letting everybody know. That's it.
Just a public service announcement, real quick.
I like
He's
how you
actually
just politely
turning the
slid
movie
that
right
in.
now.
He's just like,
He's
yeah, so you
paid to
know.
market for the movie right now.
I turned
Oh
on
my
the Terrifier 1 on, this is probably like a year and a half ago. It's like after a night going out, and I'm watching it. And after an hour, I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why am I watching this? I didn't, is that
Freaking love
great?
it. It's so great.
I didn't expect it to go there. I was like, oh my God, I gotta turn this on.
Like,
And then I watched it like 2 weeks later.
Yeah,
I love
I had to finish it.
I'll have to check it out. I have not,
Oh,
I haven't seen it.
yeah, you need to.
It gruesome.
I went on like a weird like I used to watch a horror movie a day and then I did like a horror movie a week.
Good. Yeah.
Every day has
I was
a
gonna
different
say
name.
that no
Every day
imbalance.
has a different name. But I did a whole month of like clown horror movies. That was kind of the
no.
thing, and that's how I
Fuck
discovered
that.
like
Fuck that
Terrifier.
shit.
There's a lot of great terrible clown movies out there.
No, they're all bad.
The space clown.
There's one called Stitches, One of them,
No.
it's like it's so. Oh God, I could talk about this for hours. I love them. I love them. They're great.
This is where the Brandons depart. You know, I'm taking the road. I'm taking the not road with all
That's
the
it. I'll
fucking
leave it
clowning
there.
shit.
I'll leave
yeah.
it there.
Brandon, are you
Oh,
also
I was-
into like horror movies that are horribly low budget, like just the awful horror movies? Do you enjoy watching those
yeah.
as well?
Yeah.
Those are
yeah.
You should.
anything. Anything I can.
There's one where it's a Thanksgiving horror movie, not Thanksgiving. It's way before, but the killer is the roasted turkey with a knife.
No way.
Yeah, you
Man,
should check that out.
out.
It's like terrible plastic, like roasted turkey, like waddling around with a knife. It's crazy.
Did you see?
It's like somebody watched Chucky, took a fuckload of acid, and was like, "This is gonna be great."
This is the movie.
You'll love this movie if you're on drugs, though, for sure. Did you? I have to ask if Brandon's seen that movie where the killer is a tire.
Oh my
Have you ever
gosh,
seen, like,
no.
There's like
Like just
tires,
rolling
like this-
around.
it's
I've
I'm gonna look it up real fast, but
Yeah,
like it's
yeah,
it's like a movie. It's like a B movie, B like horror movie. But it's called
Not
Rubber.
like
It's called
Rubber.
Rubber.
Seinfeld B movie.
Oh my gosh.
It's basically a tire that like becomes sentient and like kills people. So
Okay.
I feel like it's
I'm
gonna you
down.
gotta do it.
Badass.
Yeah. Oh, I'm down. Yeah.
That's
Any-
literally
There we
like
go.
one of those catch-22 questions where it's like, would you take $50 million, but there's always a tire following you around about to like roll over?
Like,
Nicholas coming to kill you.
Yeah. You never know how far away the tire is at any moment.
You can pull up at any
You
moment.
die. Yeah.
The moment you step outside, that tire is there. You know,
That's
ready
it.
to
I
fucking
love
murk you. Oh my god! Shout out to Rubber if anybody seen that movie. I haven't, but I just thought that on the sheer premise alone, I might have to go watch it just because I
Yeah.
think it's so crazy.
That's
so
great.
let us know if you've seen it. But next question, guys: if you were trapped on a desert island for the next month, and there was one album you could bring with you to listen to, what album would that be?
I would do Never Before Seen, Never Again Found by what's the goddamn name of that band?
He loves it.
No, I do
Okay,
love
album.
it. I do love it. Oh, Arm's Length. I'm sorry. Arm's Length.
He's actually picking unfamiliar content, so it's fresh. He can make it halfway through the month.
This 1 month.
I forgot
I'm
this
picking-
album
Sure.
and this band, but this is who I like, and I'm gonna take
That's
with me.
Oh.
It's honestly
really-
not a bad game plan. If you feel like you can get sick of music, you just pick an album you never heard before.
This one.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll see
Why do
how
you
far
hate
we
it,
can
though? You gotta listen to it for a month. You know?
Oh boy.
For me, Desert Island album would be Painkiller by Judas Priest. I love that album front to back. That's one of those ones that I come back to all the time and just will like hit a mode where I listen to it all the time. So that's my Desert Island.
Man, I don't know. I basically listened to Love Connection by Turnstile like nonstop for an entire year. So
Okay.
you know what? We're bringing it to the
another
island.
month.
I was gonna try to go with something kind of vibey, like a summer, like trying to match the island thing. I was just on Spotify real fast, like trying to figure. I was gonna bring that, maybe possibly that Calvin Harris album. I forget what it's called though. But it has all. It's just, every song's just a banger. I was like, that'd be a good time.
Thinking
It's a
ahead,
vibe.
I like
I
it.
forget the name. It's like Summer Songs Volume something. I don't know.
I would say August and Everything After by Counting Crows, but I feel like it's a little too like downer. If I'm stuck on an island, I'm already going to be upset, so I don't want to listen to music that's going to make me more upset about it.
Yeah.
I might bring Snakes and Arrows by Rush. I really like that album.
Okay.
Nice.
I like
Yeah.
those answers. Those are good. The last question I have for you guys, which is the big one. We had a great time talking about like the history of your band, how you got it all started. Jenks talk about 30 days of eating just potatoes. That was incredible.
Yes.
that,
I'm gonna do it.
that was a champion
it again.
moment. That was a champion
Don't do
moment.
it
He's here to announce he's going to do
Don't
it for
make me
90
do it
days
again.
now. It's
Yep.
good.
We're tripling down.
He's tripling down. I've seen you guys play live, and I've seen you guys locally, but I wanted to know why you guys are so passionate about making music. Because again, you had an EP that you wrote, and then obviously formulated it into Settled, and like put all of this time and effort into releasing this, and now that it's finally out for people to hear and You can check the links in the description. Go pick it up if you want to. Why is it important for you guys to make music, and why are you guys so passionate about doing it?
I think that for me, I'm really passionate about this band because of the people in it. I love these guys to death, and they're like my best friends in the world. So going out and seeing new places and having new experiences and getting to play on stage and make music with my friends is just like the absolute best thing I can do. And I think it just makes us all more passionate to know that like each of us care about each other and each of us care about each other's success. And I think that that really makes it easy to be passionate about a project like this. On top of just playing music that we love and seeing new places, I think that being in a situation where I can do that with my best friends in the world, it makes it very easy to be passionate about.
I agree with Dalton. I really, really love playing live. There's nothing better in the world than getting on stage, especially with like, 4 of your other best friends just freaking rocking out to a crowd of people all over the freaking country. Hopefully we go out of the country soon. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fingers crossed.
Gonna buy a boat.
Big boat. It's a big boat.
And then getting to meet like all your like, we got to open up for Secondhand Serenade, and we got, I've been jamming John for forever. Like just meeting your idols, that's like unbelievable. And just meeting everybody else, fans and other people we're playing with. It's a freaking blast.
Yeah, for me, I'm passionate about because I'm passionate about music. I always had music as a part of my life growing up. And then when I went to college, like I majored in something that wasn't musical at all. So I always wanted to have a facet of my life still be deeply rooted in music because it's super important to me. And I feel like I am where I am mostly due to being involved in music. So like being in the band has become that avenue and outlet for me. And I also think that I've always used music as a form of coping and as a form of a release. So being able to partake in something that allows me to be creative and with my best friends and write all this stuff and see the reactions of people to it and just see the world, go to different states and travel, like it's honestly a dream. It's great, and I don't think it's hard to be passionate about it for that reason. I've never like actually contemplated like, am I passionate about this? Because it's not even a question. Like I'm just in it.
It's second nature.
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they kind of covered a lot of it or all of it. I think for me, music is something that like Luke said, it's something where I find enjoyment in expressing myself, and there's a lot of in the writing process, catharsis and things like that. And there's for me, there's a lot of healing through it. I really enjoy connecting with people and connecting with people through our music and through performing live, and the enjoyment I feel people get from seeing us enjoying our music is something that's special. And you can always tell like after like a great show, when people come out and they're just like they just vibe with us and they come out and they say how great the show was. I think that's a very like special feeling, and it's something you don't really experience anywhere else. And I've harped on this before, but the music industry is a very interesting place, and it's unlike anything I've ever experienced. But with all the hardships of that, there's a lot of incredible joy and excitement and love from that. And I think there's a lot of special moments that we've experienced with this band. There's a lot more that I imagine we'll experience together as we continue to grow. And those are all things that I'm just very thankful for. And to be able to do that with these incredible people, these incredible musicians, is something that I will always cherish. And I always say I can't wait for the day when, 20 years down the road, with, wherever we are, just to be able to look back on these moments and be like, holy shit, like we did it. Like I think, right now I feel like we've done it. And then I feel like 5 years from now, who knows where the hell will be, I mean, I can be like, we did it, guys. Like there's always going to be that next level, but that excitement to be able to one day look back and be like, holy shit, like we actually chased this thing and we're doing it. I think it's incredible. And it's commendable. I love it.
Yeah, no, I would agree as well. I can kind of find a lot of a lot of ways that I can parallel what I do. I've been doing this for almost 8 years of my life. So I like look back on it and I'm like, holy shit, I've been doing something for 8 years. That's pretty insane. What's wrong with me? You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
do I have some?
We're
you
all
know,
broken people.
Am I, am I Ash Ketchum? Did I get shocked too many times in the brain? You know, probably.
Someone opens the door with a cowbell. Day 76. You know, just keep going.
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
just now it's multiple sets of days now at this point.
Mhm.
But no, I think it's really important. I would even say more so like it makes me appreciate your music that much more because I know how much time, how much effort goes into making it, how much time it takes to like put the album art and like the crafts, how the record looks, and like the way that the album's set up, and like being in the studio recording it, and like having to wait for like mix and masters, and like
Mhm.
also having to wait to like put a plan in place and release it and stuff like that. And I think there's such a level of payoff that I mean, I personally haven't been able to experience, but I know so many musicians over this tenure of doing this that like to me it's like such an incredible release that people get to experience music in this way, and that if I am some way a part of somebody finding out about your group that didn't know about you guys before, I think to me that's like such a cool experience, because I even checked like Spotify, and like you have people that are like in like Los Angeles and people like from across the world that are like checking your music out, and I think it's such an incredible time for artists to like be like so borderless in the way that like you could be listening a band from Japan and like they'll come to the States like maybe, but like if not, like
Yeah.
you still have this listening experience. So definitely go check out Settled. Like I said, I'm about halfway through, so I'll let you guys know the rest of it. But if you want to give the floor to you guys, where can they find your band at? What you guys have coming up in the new year, and anything else you would like to plug or share about the group?
Sure. Yeah. You can find us anywhere at the Maguas. We're on Instagram, X/Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere. Themaguas.com. You can find us there. You can also find our tour dates and anything related to merch and things like that. Coming up for 2024, we haven't announced really anything yet in terms of shows. There are some things currently in the works with we're trying to work with some new bands and bring some new bands into the area. One thing that I think we like to always do is find bands that we love and see if we can kind of work with them in some capacity and kind of.
I'm just granted.
Yeah, very great. I mean, last year we did a show trade with the band Driveways, who's
Nice.
doing phenomenal things. And when we brought them to Scranton, I mean, it was honestly chaotic. It was wild. The amount of people that came to see us and them, and I don't think they were really expecting it to be as nutty as it was. But the best part about it was people telling us like, how did you get Driveways to come to Scranton? You know what I mean? Like, I think I love that idea of being able to try and work with bands that we love and that we know people will enjoy, and bring that to our area, whether that's in Harrisburg or Lancaster or Philly or our little hometown Scranton. We love it, and I hope to continue to do that in 2024.
We also have a new Christmas song out. I don't know when this podcast will drop, but there's a new
Before the
Christmas
year's over
song out.
with.
Yeah.
So go listen to that. It's a cover of God Rest You Merry Gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Give that a play as well. So, and buy Settled on the vinyl. We have 3 different sets of vinyls. So there's go check it out. Pick your favorite one.
Yeah.
Buy all 3.
Buy all
you
3.
get a deal with them if you buy all 3. So
Yeah.
go for it.
Listen, you got to feed Matt's potato urges, so
That's it.
I'm hungry over
Feed our
here,
boy
guys.
Matt.
I'm hungry.
Pound bags of potatoes aren't cheap.
he has gone this whole interview without eating one potato. It's kind of crazy.
Getting
He's
that
got
itch.
him on the side.
You guys can't see,
Staring at
but
him
I've
this
kind
whole
of just
time.
I
He's
feel like
roasting
you.
been
potatoes.
off camera.
I feel like you guys have to make a shirt now with like a potato on it for like
That's
all
it.
the.
We should. We honestly should.
honestly.
Yeah.
I
I
thought
love
you
it.
sell those pretty well.
I think
I'm sure you would.
He would be more hyped
Nuts.
for a potato endorsement before a guitar endorsement.
I would. Honestly.
What's just gonna?
You know
who's
how
gonna
much I
sponsor
spent
you like
on potatoes?
Idaho potatoes?
No,
and they're like,
That's it.
That would be awesome.
I think they would be inspired by my sale.
endorsement. Yeah, you need a Frank's Red Hot endorsement.
On
Yeah,
every
Frank's
tour
Red Hot.
poster,
Oh, yeah.
you just see.
I think
Idaho
everybody
potato.
needs a Frank's Red Hot endorsement. Come
That'd
on,
be
let's
so
real.
dope. I
would
think a
love it.
potato sponsorship would be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, we'd be filleting so many potatoes up.
Just filleting them.
Filleting.
Chopping them up.
Come
Oh
on.
my god, fuck. All right, well,
Great.
anyway, Maguas, you can check the Maguas out. All the links are in the description. Go pick up their new album, Settled. It's fantastic. Like I said, halfway through, I know I'm going to enjoy the latter half, so please go check it out. If you liked vinyl, I'll also leave a link for that as well, so go pick it up if you have the chance. If you enjoyed this interview, share, like, and subscribe. It goes a long way, and huge thanks to the guys for coming on and joining me tonight.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
having
man.
us.
Appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Give a few moments to just like settle in, see what's good, check the vibes,
Oh, yeah.
So I do want to know, how do you pronunciate your bit? Is it the Magus?
Maguas.
Maguas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I asked you guys
What's up,
first,
bud?
because I would have fucked that up. So
You're good, man. Everyone
What's the
knows.
worst? What's the worst pronunciation that you've got? Is that up there? I would
Probably
say.
Magus. No.
There's Maguas we get. We
Maguas?
got
Yeah, we get
Magus.
The,
Maguas.
the Mangus. I don't know where the
Mangus.
The
NG.
Mingus?
Mangus.
Mangus.
What
It's
the
like a
fuck?
Mangis. Mangus.
I actually prefer Eric's the Maguires. That's my
The
favorite.
Maguires. Oh no.
Yeah, that
They're
happens
just
a lot.
adding
That's not
letters.
bad.
They're just adding letters at this point. Oh my
Eric
god.
Miller and the Maguires. That's us.
That's what you guys should go out on stage as. You're like, we're Air Maguires.
Looking perfect.
Oh my god. Oh well, the Magus. All right, cool. All right, I'll count it in. 3.
Maguas.
The Maguas. Fuck.
We fucked them up.
Maguas. All right, I'm just gonna cut that in. The Maguas. All right, cool. 3, 2, 1.